Hello everyone, this is Sister Garver. Welcome to week 10 for Study and Life Skills. I wanted to go over this week's assignments. So this week is fairly standard for most of these assignments. You're going to have a quiz, and this week your quiz is going to be over chapter 6 in your textbook. And there are 10 questions on that. No time limit, so take your time on that, but do try and set aside a time when you can finish it, because if you close out, it will record your score at that point, so just be aware of that. This week we'll be doing our academic skill plan for organizing study materials. So you're going to have a few instructions to read here in the module, and then you will complete it in your workbook. This ASP is pretty standard. Much like the other ones, you'll identify your current situation. You will go through the exercise of determining possible solutions and the likely outcomes. And then you will, at the end of that, create a goal, which you will work on for the next week. The biggest issue that I usually have been seeing in grading these is that people will forget to put down the when and how they will evaluate their goal. So make sure that you remember to write that in. The very easiest way, if you're not sure what to put on this, is just to say that you will evaluate next week when you fill out your academic skill plan report. So that's really the easiest way if you're not sure exactly what method of evaluation you want to try. So consider that just as your response. Is a very simple way to get points for this question here. So that's the academic skill plan for organizing study materials. Your next assignment is you have a choice between either Journal 20 or 21. Remember, if you do both, you can get 5 points of extra credit. You've got a little brief explanation of those in the modules. And for Journal 21, you're going to be writing about a time in your life when you were off course and how you got back on course. So for this first question, you'll notice it says to dive deep. So if it says dive deep, I'm expecting at least a paragraph on there. If you want to write more, that's absolutely fine, but make sure you're paying attention to those directions so that you are able to write enough to get some good credit on this. So you'll do a little bit of analysis on that, of where you have a time you were off course and how you got back on course. And then you'll talk a little bit about somewhere where you are off course now and what you might be able to do in order to fix that. So you'll be able to ponder about that for a little bit. Journal 21 is about self-defeating patterns, and there are a lot of different examples here. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight any of these self-defeating patterns that you feel apply to you. And if you don't, there will probably be at least one here that applies to you, and if not, you can certainly write in your own any self-defeating patterns that you feel like impact your life, and then you will do a little analysis of what your self-defeating pattern is, and some examples of this, and just kind of delve a little bit into that. I'm more expecting one-line answers, one sentence or so for these questions. And then come down here a little bit more, and you may want to write a little bit more as you get into some of this analysis of what your self-defeating behaviors are, and which one you might want to overcome and how you might want to overcome those. So that just gives you an opportunity to ponder this question, especially how your life might be improved if you were able to change this behavior. So that gives you a little bit of an opportunity to think about some patterns in your life that you might want to change. And then you will have a share and discuss this week as well, which is about self-awareness. There's a couple of small assignments here before you answer the questions. Again, a lot of students will choose to answer these questions themselves before they discuss it with someone, just so they kind of know what they're gonna talk about on that. Make sure when you complete the workbook side of it that you do fill in these answers here. There is some confusion with that. Some students had skipped these first answers, assuming they only had to discuss it and not write it in. That will cause you to lose points. So you want to make sure that you do write down your answers here. And then also, don't forget to write down the name of the person that you talk to and their advice. A lot of people forget this, and then they lose some points on their assignment. You can use a pseudonym if you don't feel comfortable sharing someone's advice, or you can say, I talked to my mom, or I talked to my friend, or my roommate. You don't necessarily specifically have to say the exact full name of the person if you don't feel comfortable sharing that, but I just I'm just trying to verify that you did in fact talk to somebody about it and you were able to get some outside advice. So anyway, so that's your assignments for this week. Not too complicated, and but please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm always here to help, and I'm always happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thanks so much. Have a great week.